Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, this morning I continue on making this video on the topic of religion and belief, and why I keep doing it, because in making this video I'm talking about our creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Well, when talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we'll get benefit from it. Of course, the benefit will be seen more in the day of judgment, whereby if we think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this world, and we'll get the benefit of good deed in doing. When we think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we nurse our heart to believe and to obey, because in the revelation Allah said, I send down my revelation to mankind. Whoever believe and follow, no need to worry, no need to feel sad. Meaning that be happy, because we'll get more happiness in the future as a result of the reward of doing good in this world. So, what is the rationale behind it? Why should we do good? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created hell and paradise. So paradise is for people who are doing good in this world, is doing things right in this world. He live in the right way, and then he will get the reward of paradise. But on the opposite, people who is doing wrong in this world, believe in the wrong thing, not worshipping the Creator who created him and the world, then he will be subjected to punishment, will not be admitted to paradise, of course, but will be sent to hell to receive the punishment. So in the future life, we are either get the reward or get the punishment. So why is the rationale behind it? Because we had not existed before, and Allah created us. So when Allah created us, He sent many good things to us in this world. He chose this world for us to live. It's quite comfortable. We can live in this world quite comfortable. And when we were born, we were helpless when we were at birth. And then our mother nursed us, milked us. Then our parents looked after us. Then we grew to become a man or woman. Then we become independent. We get a job. We work and we get a job and earn living. We being paid salary, we earn a living and live comfortably in this world. There are a lot of things to do in this world, but we have to work for it, because at one time when men were in paradise, when Adam was in paradise, he didn't have to work in paradise. But when he was sent down to earth, Allah said that you live on earth and you have to work. So in no longer easy life as in paradise. You have to work and earn and look for provision. Of course, Allah will help us to get the provision if only we work for it. Anyone working will able to feed himself or herself. He can go, for example, the sea or river to find the fish, and with a small plot of land he can plant something to eat. So there are a variety of plantation we can eat. During hard time, I remember my grandfather saying they plant tapioca. Tapioca easy to grow, and they eat tapioca. Rather than eating rice, they eat tapioca. So they survive during the hard time by eating tapioca. So, of course, we need to eat to survive. And we get the water from rain, and we can also filter the water river. But rain water we can directly drink rainwater. So you have to catch it from clean place, and we can drink the rainwater. Of course, in the modern days, like me, I was looking for a job when I was young and get a job. And I was also a student of engineering, and I worked hard to pass and got a degree in engineering and work and earn salary decent enough for me to support my family and build houses for the family, and also my kids are studying in university, and one of them is working and the two is still studying. So they are expected to work after they completed the study. but hopefully they will get work and be independent, get married, have children, and that's how the life is repeated for the young people, and the old people will grow and die, and the young will then replace the old to live in this world. So the same process they gone through. So it's very important to think why we have to obey our Creator. So we don't live in this world for free. This world is not a free world. There's a book from our Creator that tell us what to do in order to live happily in this world, and importantly and happily as well in the next world. Of course, when you enter paradise, it's a happy place. You don't have to work. You will live like a king. You will given wife, houses, and everything. Life will be easy there, and you will enjoy it much more than you enjoy in the life in this world. And there in paradise, you will be will not grow old. So just imagine if you don't grow old, you are always at the age of 33 years old. You're always young there, 33 years old, and the enjoyment will not taken from you, meaning you will live in paradise forever, and the joy there will be forever too. So it's so great, the gift of our Creator, which will get if you are rewarded from being obedient, belief and obedience to our Creator. So this is very important, belief and obedience. I am preaching myself 80%, and you who listen hopefully will also get the benefit from listening this my thoughts of the importance of we believe and obey. Of course, you will not get the reward if you don't work for it. So we have to work for it, because it's not free. Only if you work for it, then you'll get the reward. Of course, you'll see in this world as well. If you study for a degree, you have to work hard to get your degree. If you don't work hard, you're careless in your study, you will not get rewarded. Even in work, we have to come work every day and follow the discipline of working, then we'll get the work done. Otherwise, the lazy people will not get his work done. So it's the same thing living in this world. You have to work for it. Because there are things that we have to do before we are rewarded. In Islamic teaching, there are things we have to do before Allah will reward us. Not only doing, but believing. Of course, there are also Satan around us that try to influence us not to believe, not to do good things. So, if you look at the statistic of people being influenced and follow the way of the Satans, more actually, if you look in the past, even in the Koran saying, few people believe, few people obey, majority of the people don't believe and don't obey. So the statistic is that there are more human beings fall into hell than going into paradise. So you have to be very, very careful of this, and you have to work, believe, and think for yourself, and select the best way, the best path, the right path that will lead you to paradise. Okay, it's not only preaching to you, but also preaching to me. Okay, brothers and sisters, I have enough preaching of this morning. So the next stage of my video is to talk about what is going on in this world. What is most interesting in this world is what's happening in Ukraine. The possibility of big war between Russia and NATO and Ukraine. Ukraine and NATO versus Russia. Will this war happen? Actually, if you ask me, I don't know. Because Putin is the president of Russia, had invaded another country before. He had invaded a state in the Chechen state in Russia, and he also had invaded Crimea, the southern state or district of Ukraine. So would he invade Ukraine? The chances is there because he had invaded another country before and he was successful. Maybe he think he would also be successful. So he had gathered Russian troops near the border of Ukraine and Russia, and NATO and US look at it that with that number of troops of 100,000 and over is indication of preparation of a country wanting to invade another country. So they even believe that the invasion is coming, but NATO would not take the initiative to invade or to fire on the Russian troops in the border of Ukraine and Russia. So they are just waiting to see whether they invade or not. So when they really invaded, then they will take action. But then they are prepared with B-52 bombers, F-15 bombers, and also fighter planes, F-35 missiles, and they were also supplying Ukraine army with weapons, Javelin missile, and Turkey also supply the Bayraktar drone. What else? Ukraine also buying weapons from the Western country. What weapons they're buying? Missiles, I believe submarine, also fighter planes, US equipment. US also send troops, UK also send troops, and US also sending Abrams main battle tank, MBT main battle tank, Abrams. So we'll see whether the invasion will take place. But Putin keeps saying that we will not invade. They're only doing a drill, but they're doing it at the border. Why? That is mysterious. Why they want to bother to make a drill at the border. They have many other places to make a drill which will not make people suspect of the invasion. And they're saying to NATO they will draw the troops. But NATO, of course, they send intelligence, but they notice the drawing is not taking place. So it's only a saying, so meaning it can be a trick, but NATO is prepared. What is most dreadful is that America has prepared the B-52 bombers ready in nearby place. I think they placed the B-52 in UK, maybe some also in the near place in Europe, maybe in Germany or nearer. Okay, that's what's happening in this world. the gathering of 100,000 troops of Russian troops at the border, and NATO is preparing and look possibility of the Russian invasion into Ukraine. Okay, that complete my talk. What is going on in this world? So now, brothers and sisters, just look at what the meaning of the Koran. Let's see which page should read. 170. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's see where we left before. Is story about Moses when Moses and his follower asked for forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the sin of worshipping idol of calf, which they made from gold. Okay, I believe we should read page 171. Okay, to get the blessing of this morning, let me read the first sentence on this page in Arabic. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa qatta'nahum musnata ashrata asbatan umama wa awhayna ila Musa idh tasqahu qawmuhu anid bi'sakal hajar wanba'ajasat minhu snata ashrata ayna qad alimu kullu unasim masrabahum wa zallalna alaihimul ghamahu fa anzalna alaihimul manna wassalwa kulu min tayyibati ma razaqnakum wa ma zalamuna وَمَا ظَلَمُونَا وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. Okay, brothers and sisters, let's see the meaning of the sentences on this page. And we divide them to become 12 tribes, which each will be big number, and we send down miracle to Moses when his people asked for water. Say, hit you the stone, the rock, with your staff, then ooze out from the rock 12 stream of water, and each tribe know which stream they can get or drink the water. Then we send down cloud to protect them from the sun. Then we send down manna and salwa. I think manna and salwa are birds, so that they can eat the birds. Then we say, eat you from the goodness of the provision we give to you. They are not being subjected to cruelty, but they are being cruel to themselves. And remember when he said to the children of Israel, be you in the country of Baitul Muqaddis. Baitul Muqaddis is Jerusalem, and eat you of things that grow from earth wherever you like, and say, let us be free from the sin, from our sin. Then let us enter the gate They enter the gate whilst bowing. Then we would forgive your wrongdoing, and later we'll give the benefit of goodness to people who are doing good. Then the people who are cruel among them change the word with word that has not been said to them. Then we'll send down the punishment from the heaven, because they are cruel. Then they were being asked on the country of Israel, which is near the sea, which they were being defiant on Saturday. On the day come to them the fish, which was floating on the water surface. But on the other day, other than Saturday, the fish will not come to them. And that's how we test them, because they were doing big sin. So this Saturday, the children of Israel, instead of worshipping in their temple, so this group of people went to go fishing. So they were being punished for what they are doing. Okay, that complete my reading of the Quran. Now let me read Gospel of Barnabas. Let me see the marking. Okay. Let me, because the marking shows that I should read chapter 161 this morning. Let me read. Have you heard all, said Jesus. The disciple answered, Yea, Lord. Whereupon Jesus said, Lying is indeed a sin, but murder is greater, because the lie is a sin that appertain to him that speak. But the murder will appertain to him that commits it is such that destroy also the dearest thing that God had here upon earth, that is man. And lying can be remedied by saying the contrary of that which has been said, whilst murder has no remedy, saying it is not possible to give life again to the dead. Tell me then, did Moses, the servant of God, sin in slaying all whom he slew? The disciple answered, God forbid. God forbid that Moses should have sinned in obeying God who commanded him. Then Jesus said, I say, God forbid that angels should have sinned who deceived Ahab's false prophet with the lie, even as God received the slaughter of men as a sacrifice, so received he the lie of the praise. Verily, verily, I say unto you, that even as the child earth which caused its shoes to be made by the measure of a giant, even so earth he would subject God to the law. So he himself as a man is subject to the law. When therefore ye shall believe that only be sin which God will not, you will find the truth, even I have told you. Wherefore, because God is not composite nor changeable, so is he unable to will and not will a single thing, for he would have contradiction in himself. Consequently, pain and would not be infinitely blessed. Belief answer, but how is that saying of Prophet Amos to be understood, that there is not in evil in the city that God had not done? Jesus answered, for here, Philip, how great is the danger of resting in the latter. So the Pharisees, who had invented for themselves predestination of God in the elect, such wise they come to say in fact that God is unrighteous, a deceiver and a liar and hater of judgment, which shall upon them. Therefore I say that Amos the prophet of God speak of evil, which the world call evil. For if he had used the language of the righteous, he would not have been understood by the world. For all tribulation are well, either for that they purge the evil they have done, that we have done, or are well because they restrain us from doing evil, or are well because they make men to know the condition of this life, in order that we may love and long for life eternal. Accordingly to had the prophet Amos said, there is no good in the city, but what God has wrought it. He had given occasion for despair to be afflicted, as they beheld themselves in tribulation, in sinners living in prosperity. And that is worse, many believing Satan to have such sovereignty over man would have feared Satan and done him service, so as not to suffer tribulation. Amos therefore did as does Roman interpreter. He considered not his word as one speaking in the presence of the high priest, but he considered the will of the business of the Jew, that not to speak the Hebrew tongue. Okay, so if we don't understand it, so leave it. But I just keep reading it, trying to understand it. If I fail to understand, I just read through. So don't need to worry, because there are things that we understood and there are things that we don't. Thank you very much for listening.